What is going on, guys? Happy Sunday. Out here outside for a change. It's been a little while since I've gone live from my phone, and so I'm just kind of standing out front of the old shop here, still so I can catch Wi-Fi because the internet service around here is terrible. So, yeah, this is the building that I'm in. But yeah, thought I would just try to make a quick little stream here, talk to you guys a little bit about what is going on in my world and with my truck. Uh, since I've had this channel, I have had, I think, three different trucks. I think, yeah, three different daily driver trucks just in the time that I've had the channel. I started off with a very similar truck to this. It was a F250, but it had the F150 body. It was two-wheel drive. Just, through various deals back and forth, I ended up with that truck for like really only $200. I ran that truck all the way to like 272,000 miles until finally one of the spark plugs just blew right out of the top of the motor, and I was going to fix it, but it was going to cost more for the kit. It was going to cost more for the kit to fix that problem, because what happens is it strips out the cylinder head when that happens, and that's when they blow out the top. And there's a kit you can get that's like a sleeve and a drill and like a helicoil is what they call it to hold that spark plug in. But the kit for that is like $600, and the labor on it is pretty intense. I don't mind doing the labor. It's just the price of the kit didn't make it worth fixing, and it's just really interesting. As soon as that happened, I was in dire need of another truck because I still had work to do. And that night, literally the same day that happened, I went out and spent like $2,000 on a Dodge, which I've had on this channel before. I sold the F250 even though it was broken for $1,000, which is actually amazing that I got that much for it. So I sold that thing for like a grand, literally in a day. And then I had the Dodge and the Dodge was okay. I just didn't like the way it drove. I put in a lot of parts in the front end of that. By the time I really bought it for like $1,800, but by the time I put all the parts and everything in the front end and got it aligned and did all that crap, I was probably in it like $2,200, which was a lot more than I wanted to be in it. You can see a couple of videos on my channel where I was working on it. And yeah, so I had that truck for a while until this truck came across the table, and I bought this truck for $600 cash. Needed a brake line, a couple other small little nitpick stuff, but ran and drove good. And I fixed this truck, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep the Dodge or start running this, because the Dodge did look nice. It did look better than this truck, but the Dodge is a Dodge, and I didn't care for driving it that much, and I was kind of like indifferent about which one I was going to keep. So I posted both this truck and the Dodge for sale at the same time, and I was just going to keep the one that didn't sell first, and the Dodge sold first. Sold for like $3,000. I did have a lot of interested people in this truck because I had this truck up for $3,500 after I fixed it, which was also a really good little profit too. But yeah, I had plenty of people interested in both trucks. It's just that somebody came through and bought the Dodge first. So yeah, I sold the Dodge and I started using this truck. And this truck's been good, honestly. I like it. It's got the 4 doors on it. The Dodge had 4 doors, but they were like half doors in the back. This has 4 full doors on it. I don't like that the bed is really short, but that's okay. I think this truck has more power than the Dodge. Even though the Dodge had a bigger motor, this truck seems stronger. and I don't really know if there's a good reason for that, but it does. Feels like it's a more powerful truck. But recently, I've been having this problem where it feels like the transmission just cuts out in this thing. And I checked the fluid in it, and it seems low, so I don't know where it's been going. And then I just keep adding fluid and looking for a leak on the ground, and not finding a leak or anything. Finally, today, I was having the same problem, and so I stopped. It was like the worst it's ever been, and I stop and I see it leaking while it's running. I don't know if we're gonna see if we can see if it's leaking while it's off. I don't think it is, but you can see the whole bottom of it is soaked here in the front, right? So yeah, that spot right there, right where, see those lines right there are lines to the transmission cooler up in the front. So these lines are leaking, and that's what's causing my problem. You can even see where I had it parked when I got back. I parked right here, and this is accumulation of a couple of days. This has been going on for a little while, but it just wasn't leaking in an obvious way. Like, I'd come out and I'd see where it left its mark, but I wouldn't see it actually leaking, so I knew which line it was. So yeah, it's gonna need, and hopefully I didn't lose my Wi-Fi walking over there. So it's gonna need a couple of things. For one thing, I'd like to get these headlights cleared up if I'm gonna keep using it. They always seem dim at night. Some lady, customer of mine, had an Expedition, and this is the light off her Expedition. She was like all worried about it not having a cover over it, and I told her, well, just pay me a couple bucks and I'll give you mine, and I'll just grab one next time I go to the junkyard. And I still haven't been to the junkyard yet. Still works and really easy. I mean, I've already been paid for the light, but just kind of trying to help out customers. But here's the worst part of this truck: is it has rust only here. See, in the rocker area, it's got some rust, and I would like to address that if I'm going to keep it. Probably respray the whole thing. Hey, look, there's a little bug living on the side of my truck. So yeah, it's got rust in the rockers, but no rust anywhere else on it. It's really weird. I think that it's just because water gets trapped in this step. And I like having the step. See, this side is pretty bad too. The rockers are pretty rough. So, and the paint, you can tell the previous owner had the passenger side kind of parked in the shade, and the driver's side was in the sun, wherever they parked it over time, and it did some damage. Whoa, look at that thing. Another little bug crawling on it. I don't know what that is. Probably a stink bug or something. Oh, flies. But yeah, anyway. So, I would like to address those things if I keep it, get some tires, but as you can tell, the price of all this stuff is adding up really fast. You think gonna want to put some new tires on it here, probably before winter comes. Not that winter's bad here, but it's just for my own, I gotta get it inspected in December, so these tires would probably pass inspection, but just to be safe, by December they might not. So, and the way I use the truck and everything, yeah, I'd like to get those changed. So probably looking at, $400 for tires, probably another 150 for the transmission cooler line. So, $500 in a truck that I only paid $600 for. It's adding up fast here. And what else? And if I do the rockers, that's probably going to be another $300 in parts, and then not even thinking about my time. So I'm strongly considering replacing this truck with something newer and diesel, but I might not, because I'm also talking about possibly, and I don't know if I dare talk about it just yet because, you know, if it doesn't happen, then I'll feel stupid. But it's a possibility I might go and work outside the country for a little while. I haven't nailed that down. I'm in negotiations for that. So yeah. So there's a good chance that I might be outside of the country for an extended period of time. And if that happens, I don't want to have a truck that, you know, is just sitting. So I might keep this for now, just do what I need to do to keep running it. And then if I do go outside the country, I'll store this somewhere so that when I come back, I'll have something to drive. Because like I said, I don't want to have a nice truck that's just going to sit. I'd rather just have this sit and come back and use it and buy a truck. Probably an even better truck with the money that I'll make outside of the country. So, but in any case, I'm also tempted to fix this up pristine because this is almost the same condition aside from the transmission leaking as, you know, when I first got it. That, yeah, the tire, these are the same tires I got it with. They're not that much worse. So people were interested in it at 3,500 and just the way it is. So I kind of think it, you know, the blue book on it is like closer to $5,000. So I could probably get up over 4 if I put some new tires on it and all that kind of thing. So I'm also considering that, just fixing it and selling it and getting something nicer. So and also just thinking about like what I'd want my budget to be. Could I replace it for the budget I want to be at buying another truck? I'm not even sure about that. So I'm thinking like the budget for a new truck, you know, the way I use this stuff, I don't dare buy something brand new. The depreciation would just be too severe. So, and I don't want to finance something. Most of the stuff I would be interested in, I would have to finance. I mean, I could buy a brand new truck cash, but not a truck like what I want. So, I'd probably get something used. And if I'm getting something used, I don't want to get something too high end. Probably like to stay in like the $10,000 to $20,000 range on a used truck. And it, you know, might be dreaming that I'll find a diesel truck. Maybe if I go old enough, I will be able to get a diesel truck. But yeah, and I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but you can see on my headlight there's all these black specks. I was riding behind a truck. I guess it was like a tar truck. Like they had like a big tank with tar in it, and it just like speckled my whole truck. My headlights. Everything on the front of my truck got speckled in this black tar. Even the friggin' windshield, man. It annoys me so much. The windshield does seem to be clearing up because it's rained a few times and the wipers went back and forth. But I tried to scrub on this windshield a little bit and it wasn't coming off. So the headlights I'm not too hurt about, but the windshield's annoying and like the front bumper and stuff. You know, that guy shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be riding around spraying every car that rides behind him with tar. So yeah. If you guys are interested in seeing, you know, the process, possibly what it takes to do this transmission line, I might do that. Might make a video about that. You know, this truck doesn't need a lot. It is still my daily driver until the new transmission line. I am going to replace the transmission line. I just don't know if I'm going to do the tires and everything because I don't know if I want to sell it or keep it or what, or how I want to do it. But I am going to order the transmission line. I finally figured out exactly which line it is today. I didn't want to go just buying a bunch of transmission line and not knowing which one I wanted. So, yeah. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. And if you like this video, throw a like on it. You can subscribe for more. And I will catch you all in the next one.